What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with reactions to the classics. Today, we got a Megadeth top 10 songs reactions brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter, and patron channel, River. Thank you, River. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out that Patreon link below or the Patreon link on the end screen. We could not do it without them. River says, so this month in December, it's December 2024 when this is going up, I bring to you the first of a four-part series, The Big Four. A top 10 of each of the four American thrash metal bands that brought the genre to its top. For the first part, it'll be the only of the four I myself have not seen live, Megadeth. The band, known for being the most technically proficient of the Big Four, and for Dave Mustaine's rivalry, of course, with Metallica, is the first I'll bring, as all four have such long careers, storied and incredibly wild. It's hard to just select one. This top 10 was the easiest, as Megadeth's total output was easier to listen through than the others. A quick little background on Megadeth. An American thrash metal band formed in LA in 1983, of course, by vocalist guitarist Dave Mustaine. Known for their technically complex guitar work and musicianship, they're one of the big four, as River mentioned, of American thrash metal songs, along with Metallica, Anthrax, and Slayer, who were responsible for the genre's development and popularization. Their music features complex arrangements, fast rhythm sections, dual lead guitars, and lyrical themes of war, politics, religion, death, and personal relationships. Pretty much covers it all, right? They've undergone multiple lineup changes through their 41-year career, with Mustaine being the only constant. Megadeth earned platinum certifications in the U.S. for 5 of its 16 studio albums and received 12 Grammy noms. As of 2023, they sold more than 50 million albums worldwide, 16 studio albums. All right, I don't really know anything about Megadeth. I mean, I know Dave Mustaine. Never really listened to Megadeth. Just kind of one of those things it wasn't really on my radar during that time, and it's not something that I've sought out. So I'm looking forward to doing this. I have a decent amount of research for each one of these songs. That's why I took it easy on the upfront. If you've never been with us before, the music won't be in the video, but they'll be at the Vimeo link down below. And we'll kick it off with Fatal Illusion from the Dystopia album in 2016. Their 15th studio album was the lead single. In an interview with Metal Hammer, Dave said about the song, that was a fantasy thing about somebody who was an outcast, who wasn't following party lines, who was just going against the grain. Maybe this song's a little bit autobiographical in certain aspects. But instead of dealing with it, this authoritarian society says, don't try to understand the problem, just get rid of it. It's like, my dad was an alcoholic, and I often wonder if he went to AA, would he have lived longer? But back then, people viewed alcoholism with the stigma that these people were weak, not that it was a disease. When I was a kid, you couldn't have interracial marriage. Someone who was divorced was awful. So a lot of people have evolved in their thought process. And in the song, the person is supposed to be executed. He doesn't die. He comes back and says, okay, you don't want to deal with me? I don't want to deal with you. Loudwire magazine said this was the 13th best metal song of 2015. All right, I'm going to have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, River. All right, Fatal Illusion. It's about what I said. They give this guy a lethal injection. No, the coroner doesn't even bother to check to see if he's dead. And they put him in, they send him to the morgue. He's in a casket. He's trying to get his way out. He finally gets his way out. He uses the blade and kills every one of them that brought this upon him. So, yeah, I mean, it's a really well done song musically, as you would expect. Great guitar work. Well done. Next up, we have Killing Is My Business. And Business is Good from the album of the same name, their debut in 1985. The lyrics for the track were inspired by the Punisher comic book. The song Holy Wars, The Punishment Due will later continue the story of this song. It caused media controversy when a man named David J. Leffer posted an online request to a radio station to play the tune, saying, quote, watch the national news tomorrow. I'm going to go on a shooting spree in Appleton, Wisconsin. And that the song was good music to go postal and kill a bunch of people, too. The DJs who were operating the station immediately contacted the police. The guy was quickly apprehended and arrested due to the threat of a shopping spree. The song's about a hitman who's been hired to kill someone. After he gets paid, however, it turns out he's also been assigned to eliminate the guy who gave him the first contract. All right, so a very much later song in our first track, and then one of the very first ones right here. All right, Killing Is My Business, and Business is Good. It's about what I said. It's about the hitman, and he turns it on the other guy, and it's almost divided into two types of songs, right? The first part is quick, but the second part is really the thrash part and picks it up, which it should, because he's telling him, look, man, I'm about to kill you, man, and killing is my business and business is good. So I like that too. They pack a lot into just a little bit over a 3-minute song. Next up, we have Sweating Bullets from the Countdown to Extinction album in 1992, their 5th studio album. River says, as usual with many of my lists, I like to give a sample of a live version of one of their songs. So we'll check that out. But third single, 27 on the US mainstream rock chart, and number 26 in the UK. Lyrics, of course, written by Dave, are from a first-person perspective of someone suffering from schizophrenia. Mustaine wrote the lyrics to express an idea that everyone suffers from mental illness in their own ways, stating, quote, I wrote that about myself. It was pointed out to me that I'm kind of schizophrenic and that I live inside my head, which is something I don't subscribe to, but I enjoy the theory nonetheless. I think if all of us are sweating bullets all the time. Society's a joke right now. Dave, if you only knew, right? And people are getting more and more hostile. When you think about having an evil twin or schizophrenia, I think a lot of us are schizo because we live inside our heads. There's someone we all confer with. It's called our conscience. Some people cannot control their other side. It takes them over. Everybody has that psychotic side. Everyone has a thing that will make them snap. All right, Sweating Bullets. Fantastic live performance. What's interesting, this live performance was just last year, August of 2023 at the time that I'm filming this, and Dave still sounds fantastic. Obviously, like the production value and the sound of them live is off the charts, man. You got to have a lot of money to make yourself sound that way live. I'm not talking about the quality of his voice. I'm talking about like to have the equipment to put that out there. But really well done, man. All of it, like great musicianship, just really well done. And an interesting story. Up to number 7, we got In My Darkest Hour from the album So Far So Good, So What in 1988, third studio album. Dave said that the song is one of his favorite solos he has written. It was written by him in a single sitting after a friend had contacted him to inform him of Metallica bassist Cliff Burton's passing. Dave was frustrated with the members of Metallica for not contacting him personally, stating in an interview, I took it really personal because I figured, you effers, you know we're all brothers in a band and he dies and you have someone else call me? So I took it very, very, very bad. But the song itself is about his former girlfriend who didn't pay enough attention to him. He tells her how important she was to him, but how she was never there for him. All right. In My Darkest Hour, really well written song. Dave writes good songs, right? This is not just about, the instrumentation is obviously musicianship is world class for sure. But his lyrics are really good too. Although, there's some allusions to suicide in this, and they kind of take some heat. There's some other songs where there's some allusions that they claim they're not. It's hard to really get that out of that it's not. It's hard to make that case. I realize Dave wrote it so he can make the case he wants, but I mean, really good song. Now we're going to finish off the top half of this list at number 6 was Symphony of Destruction from the Countdown to Extinction album in 1992. Once again, their 5th studio album. Lead single, 15 in the UK. Dave wrote it, obviously. The song received significant radio play and charted in various countries, making it one of their best-known songs. In Guitar Center sessions, Dave described the development of this song as a stroke of luck. So one day while driving down Riverside Drive in Los Angeles to his home, he was stricken by a headache. Inspired, he began writing lyrics on the back of a sushi receipt. My metal brain's corroding. My head is going to explode. He wrote the lyrics to the song, which were written about what he perceived to be how the masses were being led to their own destruction by political leaders. Dave's ahead of his time on a lot of this stuff, which is where the title's derived. The famous legend Pied Piper of Hamelin is mentioned in the song and contains direct correlations to the lyrical meanings of the song. In the legend, the Pied Piper had the ability to force children and rats to follow his demands mindlessly, like the political leaders do to the public. The name of the song is also the basis for his instructional column in Guitar World magazine called Symphony of Instruction. In 2023, Rolling Stone said this was number 45 on the 100 greatest heavy metal songs ever. Dave said basically what this is about is if you take a person, a typical stereotype numbskull, and you give him the old blank shower and shave, throw him in a monkey suit and he can run the country. It's about the masses being led to their own destruction by a leader who's more or less a puppet of a phantom government. This could also refer to how society is causing nature's destruction and our systemic suicide of the world. All right. Once again, very well written. Guitar works fantastic. I'm not trying to be redundant on each song. I don't want to break down each song because the same theme is throughout all these songs, right? The guitar work is obviously maestro level. The drumming's fantastic. I mean, it's just so well done. The songs are well written, man. Very well written with something to say. Interestingly, on this song, it was getting heavy MTV rotation, which was very important back then. The video was, but in the video, probably the president is getting out of a limo and gets shot. And so they played the video with no problem. And then obviously somebody started having a problem with it. So they had to edit it out and it got played less. Kick off the top 5 with, I'm not French, so I'm going to butcher this, Tout, Monde from the Euthanasia album in 1994. Single, it was later remade and reissued as A Tout Le Monde Set Me Free, featuring Christina Scabbia of Lacuna Coil on Megadeth's 2007 studio album, United Abomination. But that's not what we're going to listen to. We're going to listen to the original. The song's chorus basically is saying French for, to everyone, to all my friends, I love you, I must go, prompted controversy after accusations that it was pro-suicide. So here we go again. However, in an interview conducted around 1994, Dave said this: it's not a suicide song. What it is, it's you. It's when people have a loved one that dies and they end on a bad note. They wish they could have say something to them. So this is an opportunity for the deceased to say something before they go. And it was my impression of what I'd like to say to people if I had 3 seconds to do so in life before I died. I'd say to the entire world, to all my friends, I love you all, and now I must go. These are the last words I'll ever speak, and they'll set me free. I don't have to say I'm sorry. I don't have to say I'm going to miss you or I'll wait for you. I'll just say I loved you all. Good, bad, indifferent. I loved you all. A Tout Le Monde, more melodic than any songs on here so far. I super enjoy it. I thought Dave sounded great. Lead guitar on this one is actually Marty Friedman. Dave was just busting out the rhythm guitar there, but I thought this song was really good and really catchy. Next up at number 4, we got Hangar 18 from the Rust in Peace album in 1990. Reached number 25 on the Irish singles chart, 26 on the UK chart. It's about the story of an Air Force base in Dayton, Ohio, where some people believe the alien bodies were taken when a UFO supposedly crashed in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947, a place that I lived near for a little while. The remains were apparently later taken, of course, to Area 51 in Nevada, and many people believe they are still there. The cover of this album depicts the band's mascot, Vic Rattlehead, and a number of world leaders viewing an alien in a cryogenic chamber, a clear reference to this track. It was originally titled Into Our HQ, Into Our Headquarters, and it was one of a handful of Megadeth songs written for Dave's first band, Panic. A unique feature about the song is that the bass uses a different tuning from the 2 lead guitars. It also features 11 guitar solos with a running time of only 5 minutes. A sequel to this called Return to Hangar was included on their 9th album, The World Needs a Hero. It tells the fictional story of the life form said to be contained in Hangar 18 coming back to life and killing those inside the building before escaping. Dave said it was an idea that Nick came up with, so Nick Menza, the drummer. So the idea is based on a place in the Four Corner State region of the United States. It's a place where the military intelligence is housing an alien aircraft and alien life forms. Not that I subscribe to this point of view or any of that kind of BS, but Nick is way into it. I mean, the guy thinks that Jesus was a Martian, but I guess those of you who know Nick probably know that the possibility, the way he explains it, it could be real. So we try to bring it to you guys in a song form, and it's up to your imaginations to see whether or not you believe it. It was nominated for Best Metal Performance at the 34th Grammy Awards. Look, obviously all these songs are guitar showmanship to its finest, right? But this song, the dueling guitar outros there between Friedman and Mustaine, and I mean, yeah, the guitar work on this thing is absolutely insane. All right, we got 3 songs left. We got Peace Sells from Peace Sells, But Who's Buying in 1986, their second studio album. It releases their second ever single in November of 86. It was their breakthrough hit and is regarded as one of the best songs in the history of heavy metal. Since 1985, the song has been a constant at their concerts. In 2023, Rolling Stone ranked it 19th on their list of the 100 greatest heavy metal songs. It's also known for the distinctive bass intro played by Ellefson. The video for the track became an MTV mainstay, and the bass line was used as the introduction to MTV News. So I heard that right away in my head when I was doing this research. However, Dave proclaimed that they received no royalties because the song was excluded shortly before MTV would have to pay them for its use, which is, I mean, come on, man. It reflects Mustaine's political and social beliefs. The title of the song was taken from a copy of a Reader's Digest that Dave saw, which had a story written by Patti Smith with the words, "Peace sells, but nobody's buying it." Band drummer at the time, Gar Samuelson, encouraged Dave to write more political lyrics in his songs, which in turn helped the song be a success. The lyrics for the song were written on the wall of the band's rehearsal space due to Dave not having a pen or paper to write with. The song dispels stereotypes of metal fans that were pushed by the media throughout the 80s. More specifically, that they're lazy, anti-government, anti-religion, which Dave says are mostly untrue. He said, "I wrote it because I was tired of people mocking metal in general and mocking people who are metal fans. It was hard for me to watch the way we were stereotyped on TV, just as dumbasses. For the most part, I think that a lot of musicians are very intelligent and very talented. It's a bummer the way people have been stereotyped. Still goes on, man. Very well written. Another song, very well written. Chris Poland is on guitars here. Gar Samuelson on drums. We've got these different lineups going on, but super well done and intelligently coming back at the people who, we still do this. So we do this all the time. We judge people. I try not to, but we judge people just by how they look or what they like. And just a really good shot there by Dave back at him. Now we got Holy Wars, The Punishment Due from Rust in Peace in 1990. River said an interesting fact about the controversies around Megadeth. The song was written after the band had dedicated a song when playing in Ireland to Irish unification, dedicating a cover of Anarchy in the UK to it. Ulster Unionists and Irish Catholics fought, and the band had to get in a bulletproof bus to get back to Dublin. I'm going to have more on that because I did a lot of research on the song. It was interesting. The lyrics deal with global religious conflict, particularly in Israel and Northern Ireland. In an interview with UK magazine guitarist Dave said that he was inspired to write the song in Northern Ireland when he discovered bootlegged Megadeth t-shirts were on sale and was dissuaded from taking action to have them removed on the basis they were part of fundraising activities for the Cause, which was the Provisional Irish Republican Army, the IRA. Dave liked the sound of the Cause, so dedicated a cover of the Sex Pistols, so the Anarchy in the UK, which appears on So Far, So Good, So What, to it shouting, "Give Ireland back to the Irish. This one's for the Cause, Anarchy in Ireland." This resulted in the near riot that River was talking about. The track's first half, Holy Wars, is written about the religious conflict in Northern Ireland, which started in 1960, but has its roots as far back as the 17th century. The Punishment Due, of course, is based on The Punisher. In 2012, Loudwire ranked the song number 1 on their list of the 10 greatest Megadeth songs. And in 2018, Billboard ranked it number 2 on the greatest Megadeth songs, and number 28, their third song on this list, right, of the 100 greatest heavy metal songs ever. Okay, insane guitar work. The first half of the song, Holy Wars, it's about 2.5 minutes long. It's more thrash metal. Then it changes up because Friedman kind of plays almost this acoustic guitar. And then he plays 2 different solos in here. And then the last solo, when it speeds back up, is Mustaine. So, just insanely good. Holy Wars doesn't have a lot of lyrics. The Punishment Due has a ton of lyrics talking about all these different things. Really, really well done. I see why it's picked as their best song. But it's only number 2 for River. Number 1, Tornado of Souls, also from Rust in Peace in 1990. River said these last 2 tracks and Hangar 18 being off Rust in Peace should indicate, I think this is their best album. It is, in my opinion, Mustaine's strongest writing and the strongest playing across a storied career. I found, despite never being released as a single nor having any promotion surrounding it, remains a staple of the band's discography. It's well known for its distinctive guitar solo played by, of course, Marty Friedman, which is regarded as one of the greatest metal guitar solos of all time. That's quite a statement. It's also widely considered to be one of the hardest to play on a guitar. The lyrics on the song, like many of Megadeth's, are about frontman Dave Mustaine's ex-girlfriend, Diana. All right, let's finish it off. Number 1. All right, Tornado of Souls, River's number 1 Megadeth song. Obviously, I say this every time, the guitar work's fantastic. The lyrical content, at the end, it seems like he kills his former lover. Dave says that's not true. That's not what is happening in the song. He just says, a relationship is like a personal suicide if you get in that relationship with him, because it's not going to last and he's going to damage it and all that good stuff. But, obviously a great way to finish off this top 10. And now we get to my top 10. You do a top 10 of a group like this. It's just, classic and thought of so well. All 10 songs are going to be great. And they were, but I tried to narrow it down. Honorable mention, Hangar 18. My faves are going to be Symphony of Destruction, Peace Sells, Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, Tornado of Souls, and a tout, Le Monde. So I guess the top 6. River picked them right in my mind on first listen. I'd never heard any of these songs, but I need to know what you think down below. What are your favorites? Listen, this list is very hard to put together, so be nice, right? You can disagree, of course, but be nice. But look for those other 3 top 10s coming soon of those other groups of Slayer, Anthrax, and Metallica. All right. Thanks again to River for putting this together. Until next time, guys, I will see ya.